Vi skal se Borderlands. Alle folk kigger på mig, så vi skal skynde os væk. Kom. You're the writer for Borderlands 2. What are we laughing about?
You were just so soothing. You're like, you're the
exactly. That's my radio voice. I always use it on TV.
Okay.
But okay, you're the writer. How cool is that on a scale from 1 to 500?
501. It's my complete dream job. I went from being a journalist and doing some web show series to writing Borderlands 2, and it's an absolute dream.
So what is the coolest thing in the story in Borderlands? So of course you can't reveal anything, but as a writer, what do you get excited about?
I get really excited about writing new characters and having them interact with the old ones. Handsome Jack, our antagonist, is a brand new character, but he often, he needles the player, he needles the Vault Hunters from the first game, who are now NPCs, and it's been really sort of fun to develop the Vault Hunters a little bit, give them a little bit more backstory, and actually be able to explore that with them as NPCs and have Handsome Jack sort of needle them and screw them over.
Before Borderlands 2, did you maybe browse some website forums in regards to what users would love to see, what kind of way the story would go before you sat down and did it?
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, some of it's like, Claptrap and Lil should have a baby, and it's like, I don't know if I'm gonna
awesome idea.
Yeah. Some of it's, they're pictures, trust me.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it was always cool to see, what the theories are regarding some of the things that are a little bit more intentionally vague in the first game, and see where they're thinking, like what they think the angel is, where the sirens come from, what they think. It's been really cool to sort of see that and check that out, and a lot of our suggestions, a lot of the new features in Borderlands actually came from suggestions from the users, like the fact that you can take a split screen game online now was completely from the community saying, hey, we'd really like to do that, and we said, okay.
Was there anywhere in the game where you kind of had to change the story to fit the game better after the development started, or do you just like give a full script or whatever for the movie and then you're done?
Oh no, it's always changing. It's always, the levels change a lot, the missions we might want to do, that's always, and the job of my story is to basically, I hesitate to say my story because I made it with Paul Hellquist, the creative director.
Yours, it's fine.
No, it's Paul Hellquist, the creative director, and I did that together. We had a lot of help from Jeremy Cook, the art director, Mike Newman, the creative director of Gearbox Studios in general. And the job of story in regards to Borderlands 2 is that it should follow the gameplay. The gameplay comes first, and the gameplay is the most important thing. If you don't care about the story, we're not going to grab you by the neck and make you watch a 20-minute cutscene or anything like that. The story is definitely going to be much more focal. It's going to be, when you're on a mission, you're going to know why. You're going to always have these updates and understand what that means for the story. But if you don't care, you can just, listen or ignore what's being told to you. But we're not going to stamp our feet down and say, no, listen to my story, or anything like that.
That could be pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
That was kind of like a childish, but in a nice way.
Yeah. That was a really graceful thing for somebody to do when they're representing their company.
It seemed really manly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. So for you, what is the coolest thing in the story? Is there anywhere where you say people should look forward to this without giving away too much?
I think you're really going to like to see where the Vault Hunters are now after 5 years since the end of the first game. I think seeing what their new sort of lot in life is and what Pandora has done to them and how Pandora has changed will be really interesting.
Is Borderlands maybe a trilogy?
We haven't planned. Well, Borderlands 2 is not going to end on some sort of cliffhanger that's going to be resolved in another thing. We've looked at this as a standalone that has is a true sequel in that it's connected to the first game, it has a lot of characters and stuff like that. But we're not looking at this as like, and then we'll make a cliffhanger and make people buy the next one, and to actually have any sense of closure, nothing like that. But if people keep liking them, we'll keep making them.
If people sit at home and think this is probably the coolest job I've ever heard of in my life, how should people reach that goal?
The way I got it was by sort of doing my own thing. I just made a web series on my own just for fun, and I worked as a blogger on a site called Destructoid, and then I just got lucky and met Mikey Newman, the creative director of Gearbox, at a trade show essentially, and we hung out, and I didn't realize it, but I was auditioning for the writing job because he liked Hey Ash, What You Play in the show I do, and going out and doing your own thing, having my own web show that sort of showed my sense of humor and my opinion toward games was a much better resume than just writing out an actual resume.
So what could be up next for you? Any things that you would love to do?
Oh, I'd love to just keep working at Gearbox. I really enjoy my job, so yeah.